I recently received an outreach email from an editor looking to connect, and I almost deleted it immediately because the email made every single mistake that guarantees you'll be ignored. And the worst part is that I've seen this exact email 100 times. Different name, different credits, but same result, deleted. So today I'm gonna break down exactly what went wrong, line by line, so you never make these mistakes, because in this industry, one good relationship can change everything, and one bad email can make sure that never happens. Before we start, I just wanna say that I'm not here to roast this person. I mean, they're not being rude and they're not doing anything offensive, but they're making a bad first impression right away. And that's enough for someone to move on and never reply, which kills any chance of a connection or even a future opportunity. All right, so let's take a look at the subject line. So then it says, narrative film editor looking to connect, network, and collaborate. I can tell you this already is a red flag, because I can almost bet that this is gonna be all about them. They list, their job title and what they want from the get-go. The thing is, though, that the subject line is so important when you're writing cold outreach emails, right? Because this is your first goal should be for someone to literally open the email, right? They have to open it, and then they'll decide if, after reading it, if they hit that reply button. And maybe also then, if we take it a step further, is say, get on a call with you, if that's what you ask for, that's what you want, right? This is not a good subject line. Remember, I don't know this person, right? Or if you're sending it to someone, they don't know you. If it's a cold outreach email, they don't know you. So you got to give them a reason to open that email. Well, right away, I mean, this is massive, right? It's a lot of work to read all of this. And again, I don't know this person. So I see just multiple paragraphs and I'm like, this is going to take a lot of work. And I question why I should read this and go through this, right? And that's how you also have to think about when you're sending that out to someone is, look, we're all busy, right? People are busy nowadays. And so when you see something like this, I was like, wow, this is going to take a lot. And so either say I'll delete it or, I'll just kind of put it aside and probably never come back to it, right? See, now if you got them to open the email, and then now it's like, all right, now you maybe, kill that chance or opportunity of them to actually go through it, which then leads to, say, if you had a specific question, right? Or if you are even pitching to maybe get on a call, right? But if you kill out those chances by simply just someone in a second or two saying, wow, this is a lot. It's going to take a lot of work. And therefore, either I delete it or just kind of put it aside and just, there goes your chances, right? So let's go from the top. Dear Joaquin, hope you're doing great and trust my email finds you well. All right, let's just stop right there. Nothing wrong with that, right? Very polite, but it's, very, very generic. I'm not intrigued. I'm not hooked right away. But I'm saying that this could be much, much, much stronger, right? And this is just flat from the beginning. But let's keep going. I'm writing this email with great enthusiasm to express my interest in networking and collaboration. So right away, you're asking for something, right? They want something in the second sentence. It's an ask. I'm just kind of here questioning things and why I should keep reading. Having spent over a decade crafting emotion-driven narratives across award-winning feature films, documentaries, branded content, and web series, I believe my editorial sensibility and storytelling instincts make me a strong fit for international projects. Or wait a minute, international projects? Like what? What are you talking about? What does that have to do with me? And then, but again, I was right. This is all about them, right? In the first paragraph, they're just talking about what they've worked on, their experience. So right away, I'm thinking, well, this is just a template. This is just something they copy paste and send to multiple people, right? And they just change my name here at the top. This is not tailored for me. Now, before I keep going, if you're watching this and thinking, okay, so what should a good cold outreach email look like? Well, I got you, because I'm putting together the HEM Playbook, a live workshop with a simple system to help editors not only write good outreach emails that are going to get replies, but also build real relationships and keep your career moving forward when things feel slow. The waitlist is open now, and you can find the link in the video description below. All right, back to what not to do. But then we get into this now, this list of bullet points. And it starts off with the strengths I bring to this position include what position? I don't know what you're talking about. And then of course we have bullet points here now. Like this is like a cover letter, like reads like a, the experience section of a resume. I get it. They're trying to make it all about them and show how, impressive their experience or credits are and the work they can do. I mean, I understand, right? But they don't understand that it's working against them. So what's important is that, we move away from just trying to, really show off our credentials, what we've done, our experience, and focus more on establishing a connection where we can start a conversation, a dialogue. I don't know this person. I mean, maybe they're nice. Yeah, I know that they don't mean, or have any bad intentions, right? And I think maybe they just never learn how to establish, connection with someone. So then they continue with, if there are any opportunities where my skills could be of value, whether in an assisting, collaborative, or creative capacity, I would truly appreciate the chance to be involved, learn, and grow through the process. Again, just asking for something, asking for a job. I don't know this person. And also they didn't take the time to try to learn anything about me. That's the thing. I have an online, mentorship platform. I have a YouTube channel. I have a podcast. I'm on all social media platforms. It is extremely easy to find out anything about me and my work. This person did not take literally 5 minutes to learn anything about me. And I can then also tell them when someone has done their research, put in that work, truly cares about connecting with me, I'm going to say this person doesn't really care. And then here at the end now, they're including links to their portfolio, to their IMDb profile, and their company website. Like, as if I was gonna go on here and spend time looking at this stuff. I mean, it's just, why would I? There's no reason for me to do so. I mean, just so many mistakes here. This is what you're not supposed to do with sending cold outreach emails. And again, because basically, this person just didn't take the time to research anything about me and they just made it all about them. You can easily just kill your chances of establishing, say, a connection or building a relationship with someone by writing a bad outreach email. So that's exactly why I'm building the HEM Playbook. It's a simple system to help editors stop guessing, gain clarity, and move forward when things feel slow and uncertain. And one of the core pieces is teaching you how to write outreach emails that actually get replies and build real relationships. The waitlist is open now and you can join by clicking the link in the video description below. Spots are limited and waitlist members get early access when it launches. I mean, this is the thing I wish someone had given me earlier in my career, so don't sleep on it.